Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, WHRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now. WHRadio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling Heads Radio. I am Skitz, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Tom and Oscar. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, everybody? Happy 420 for all you pot smokers. Happy 420 for you guys, man.
Yeah, it's of course. I think a lot of people take this day out of proportion. It shouldn't be like, oh, just smoke weed, yo. It's just like people take it out of proportion. Like I see like the little kids on Facebook like posting like weed pictures. Like, chill out. Like, grow up.
Hey. Well, at least this show's not PG, so it's all good.
Well, that's another story for another time. We have a special guest, Mr. Brian Kendrick. What is going on, man?
Hey guys, thanks for having me today.
And thanks for being on, man.
My pleasure.
It's good to have you on here for a second time. How's things going on, man?
Yeah, life is good. Life is real good. No complaints. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, definitely, man. Today here on the show, we'll be talking to Brian about his school, how to get it started, what he's got going on now, what matches he's got coming up in the future. And if you have questions for all the listeners out there, you guys can give us a call at 347-945-5566 or tweet us at Wrestling Heads. Brian, I know I've been following you lately on Twitter, and I've seen that you've been busy with your school that you have. You want to talk to us about how'd you get your school started, and how can some of our listeners look into it?
Oh, sure, yeah. As far as getting it started, I was lucky enough to meet a promoter and a friend a few years back named Albert, who had a building with a wrestling ring in it. He ran a lot of shows out of there, but there was nothing going on during the day. So he and I came to an agreement, ran a school there. It was going good, and we enjoyed our time together, but unfortunately Albert lost the building. And then a friend suggested the Santino brothers, run by Joey Chaos and his wife Sylvia. And yeah, it's been a dream come true. I've lucked into getting to work with them. They've got a lot of other good trainers there as well. And so they gave me the opportunity to run classes, and that's what I do, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And so if anybody is interested, I guess you just email me at bkschoolpw@gmail.com, or go to the website of the same name, bkschoolpw. That's about it.
Yeah, I was also looking on your Twitter timeline, and I saw, I believe a while back, I want to say maybe the WWE was in town, and you did some work with WWE diva Eva Marie. Can you talk to us more on that?
Sure. Yeah. So actually, she took it upon herself to seek out further training, and it just so happened that I'm the guy that she was directed towards. So she's been coming in and training, I would say, about 5 days a week. Just one-on-one training, or also with the help of, let's say, a Tino Bro student, a kid named Eli Everfly, who's a terrific young wrestler.
Yeah, Eli's a beast.
You know Eli, right? He's great. He's 21 now. Hopefully, he's bound to make a big name for himself. I'm sure. But so that's been it. It's mostly one-on-one, or Eli comes in a few times, and she's doing awesome. Yeah, she's really doing awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely good to hear, because me as a fan, I hate to hear negative stuff about certain divas, because I know these girls have a lot of potential in being good, and I'm glad that she's out there training, getting better, so maybe we can see her seek for that title that she wants. But I'm gonna pass the question on to my co-host Oscar. Go ahead.
Yes. My first question I want to ask you, maybe I just want to break it down to a lot of fans out there that heard a lot of rumors. Ever since you made your return to the WWE programming, which I'm talking about the NXT match you had with Finn Balor just a few months back, there's rumors around that you signed back to the WWE, but when I heard those rumors, I see that you were still taking indie bookings. Like, I saw you booked on, Vendetta. You're going to be at AWS this weekend, and I was thinking, if he signed with WWE, why is he still taking indie bookings? But I don't know if you want to address the rumors to our listeners. Did you sign the deal with the WWE or somewhat, or are you still somehow involved with the WWE? Maybe you can explain to our listeners if you can address that rumor.
Sure. No, I'm just a 100% indie wrestler. I run a school, and I've been lucky enough to get an opportunity to just go in and do that match that I got to do with Finn. It was. I guess it was a way of after having they brought me out for a week before, did dark match and watched the training, and I think them bringing me in to work with Finn was just a nice thank you or treat or something. But it was a nice favor for them to do me, bring me down and wrestle them. I enjoyed the match, but that was it. And then shortly after that is when this Eva thing came along. So I'm not contracted in any way. I've just lucky enough to have got these few gigs recently.
Oh,
awesome match, by the way. I just want to say I definitely enjoyed it. And
thanks. It's very kind of you.
I want to say I was at a PWG show when I saw all the photos, and the whole line was just talking about it. Oh my God, Brian Kendrick's back! Everybody was hyped because also there's photos of Rhino there too. It was what's going on? And but it was good to see you back in the ring.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
It's fun to be in the ring. Yeah, I like doing it, so I'm glad you have had the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, Brian. First question I have for you, going back to your school. There's a lot of wrestling schools nowadays. Obviously, I think independent wrestling is growing, and a lot of people are getting into it. What are some of the key components that you teach your students at your school?
I guess where I hope the difference will be is in the psychology and the different places that I've worked and experienced with the different psychology. For example, if you were to work at a Ring of Honor or PWG, the pacing and style of matches can be very different than a WWE TV match or a Japanese cruiserweight match. So, or just a corny a fair show in the middle of some small town America. These are all very different styles that I've been fortunate enough to get to spend some time doing. So there's a lot of good trainers out there who can teach the mechanics and stuff. I just hope that this is the difference I can provide, is my knowledge in different fields, or aspects and styles, that is to say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of schools, I don't say specifics, but a lot of schools just kind of get away from the psychology. And also, is there anything that you maybe differentiate, maybe when you were getting trained, when you were first getting into wrestling, and maybe you didn't like it when you look back on it, and you don't do it to your students?
No. To be honest, as far as like hazing or bullying or stuff like that, that was never an issue in any place I've ever been. Not even in high school wrestling. But it was really hard. It was really grueling. And so I prefer that style. I don't drive my students as hard as I was driven, because some of them, some of them can't take it. And I don't want to run anybody out. I want them to be able to find a place in wrestling if they're able to. I want them to be able to do it, but I don't want to, yell and scream unless it's an emergency. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and I think, I think it might work for some trainers to yell and scream, but then, I like to think of it as, this isn't like, this isn't the army or anything. You're not training people to engrave things in their mind. When you're teaching them about the art of wrestling, you kind of just have to be patient with it and let them go along with it and learn at a pace that's comfortable.
Sure. Now, it's not to say I haven't had outbursts, just scream a curse with the top of my head, walk out to cool myself down after I keep trying to instruct something over and over again, and somebody says they got it, and then just make the same mistake 10 times in a row. But you got to be patient. It's my mistake for not being able to explain it in the proper way.
Without a doubt, and I can definitely see why your school is one of the highly regarded ones here in the country. So it all makes sense in that aspect. All right,
very kind of you. Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Shit. No, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brian. I have a question. I know we were just talking about your school, and I know you're probably busy, doing a lot of training. But there's a new promotion now called Lucha Underground. If it came down to you got the opportunity to work with that company, which I would kind of say is still independent, but on TV, would that be something that you would like to do?
I wouldn't say no. It's just I wouldn't sign something today without exploring other opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got friends that work there. They absolutely love working there. Got a lot of friends and my students all watch the show. They love it because it's different. It's a good show. So I hope it continues to grow.
Yeah. Definitely, I would definitely say that's one of the best, new up-and-coming promotions out there right now. It's got, a lot of guys, a lot of people in the States probably never heard of that are definitely growing onto. And you got guys also that are from, the States that are, on that TV. Like, for instance, John Morrison, he's there. You got Brian Cage over there, so It's kind of like, to me, because I'm from LA. It's kind of like the SoCal, the new SoCal promotion on TV, with a lot of guys that I'm very familiar with. But yeah.
Sure, and it's great for like Lil Cholo or Famous B or B-Boy. These guys are great wrestlers from SoCal who haven't gotten much TV exposure before. So yeah, I'm real happy that the show's around.
Definitely. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yes, I want to go back to your school. I want to talk about one of your students, a guy who's getting some kind of buzz around, in a funny way. But one of your students named Serial Man. There's a couple guys that they're talking about on the social media, like the Road Dogg mentioned about him. Even the Road Dogg mentioned him, and even lead singer of Slipknot, Corey Taylor, even mentioned him on Jericho's podcast show.
No kidding.
Yes, Corey Taylor. He said he went to a Las Vegas show, which was run by Tim Bodie, a.k.a. Kazardi from the WWE. Yeah. He ran a show in Vegas, and he was there. And he said he saw Serial Man. He was like, wow, this guy is amazing. Yeah, speaking Corey Taylor.
Right, it's great. That's great.
Yeah, he mentioned him on a Jericho's podcast show, and I want to know, how did you find this guy? Did he came to you, or maybe you could bring up the story, like how did it all start, and how's he doing in your training so far?
Oh, he's great. So he trained a bit in North Carolina. Then he moved out west, because of work and stuff. He could pursue wrestling, and he was on championship wrestling for in Hollywood as Jody Sutton, one of the Suttons.
Okay.
But he came to my school because he wanted to make a living out of it, and so he figured this would be the way to do it. And so he came to my school and then pitched the idea to me, and I thought it was a funny idea. I didn't know how serious he was about it, but he did it. And he's got several costumes of different types of cereals. He's comes out with a cereal box head with cereal inside of it. Underneath, he's got another mask. He's got capes. But that's it. He's Cereal Man. He's awesome. He's really incredible.
Yeah, going back with the Road Dogg on that tweet, I guess he was here during SummerSlam week. I guess Apex Pro had a show on the same weekend as SummerSlam. So I guess he went to attend the show, and he saw Serial Man, and he took photos like, everybody, you got to check this guy out, Serial Man.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Road Dogg, you mentioned him. So hopefully anybody's listening that's not familiar with Serial Man, you guys got to check him out. Any somehow in YouTube or anywhere, so check him out. I'm sure Mr. Kendrick is proud of your student there,
Oh yeah. He got up to Hood Slam, I don't know, must have been 8 months ago or so. I brought him in, and he was just a natural fit for Hood Slam. They love him there. He hasn't missed the show since. It's a great character. It's a terrific character. And he graduated forever ago, and he comes in and trains every day still. Yeah, definitely. Maybe you should tell him, hey, Corey Taylor mentioned you, and maybe he could be in a Slipknot video in the future. So. Oh, shit. You know what? I'll tell him that. Part of my friend, I'll tell him that. That'd be great.
Yeah, tell him that.
He's the type of He's the type of guy that'll pester him about it.
Yeah, tell him to look for that episode of Jericho's podcast and with Corey Taylor on it. I swear to God, he will mention him.
Yeah, I will. Oh,
all right.
Happy I am.
All right, then go ahead, Tom.
Brian, you've been in the WWE. You've seen it all. You're back running the school. You're back in the indie scene. Right now, it seems like independent wrestling, I personally think, is at possibly the highest point it's ever been. You have, I think guys more confident than ever that they could make it either to WWE or that they could have success somewhere else like Japan, or even make a living on the indie scene without having to go to WWE. What do you think about the independent scene right now and where it is?
I mean, it's hard for me to say. What do you count as independent? Do you count Ring of Honor? Because you guys are
I wouldn't
freelance.
count Ring of Honor right now just because they are on TV and pay-per-view now, and they are getting a bit bigger. But I guess in a sense they're independent.
Yeah. I mean, some of them have contracts, but those guys can still go work other shows. Most of them aren't contracts. So if that counts, then it's great. And, even if it doesn't, then you still got stuff like PWG. There's a lot of really good, exciting stuff out there. But to be honest with you, it seems like, I don't know, since Reckless Youth, when I was younger, and Christopher Daniels, when they were the hot indie guys, it always seems like the indie guys are what's going to kind of set the tone eventually. And you can see it in NXT with top indie guys going there and being utilized in top spots, and people from the office to the stands loving every second of it. If that is the indie style, I think that's definitely the direction it's going.
Do you think it's easier nowadays for people to get into independent wrestling and maybe not get into, the mainstream wrestling because it's so available? You can buy stuff online, you can watch it straight on your laptop, your computer, anywhere. But comparing it to back in your day where it was probably all tape trading.
Oh, yeah. So I'm 35. When I was, I don't know, 17, maybe 16, is when a modem came out, So I was able to order tapes when I was like 19 or so, from RF Video and High Spots and that stuff. They're the same ones that anybody who was curious about wrestling would have got. The Super J Cups, stuff like that, best of Liger, best of Benoit, best of Dynamite Kid, all that crap. Not crap, it's the best. And these tapes were valuable, and now, my goodness, you could type in anything. You could type in British wrestling / midgets, and you'll get midgets in England from the 70s, and I think that also helps with the style today. The kids can look up absolutely anything from any era. Anything they can imagine, they can find it.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, just coming from my perspective, I think it's helping the independent scene because you have, companies like High Spots and Smart Mark Video and all these different companies, putting out shows, and, they're not expensive or anything. I think they're at a good price, and people, I see them commented about it regularly on Twitter, and they say, wow, I just got into PWG. It's awesome. So I like to see that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the people that watch it, most of them, go crazy for it. You guys have been to PWG. You see the lines. You have to get there early. People
Oh yeah. It's funny because I believe maybe the last PWG show, I saw you walk in, and I think you went in to put flyers on the seats of your school because you went in and out. I don't think too many people noticed you, but I was one of the few that was in the front, and I noticed you walking in. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. You got to be there early, and et cetera, to be at these shows. But yeah, I have a question from somebody on Twitter, if you mind me asking. The question was, somebody's asking, can you talk about your early days in ROH and what was the feeling of it, and why didn't you wrestle at the ROH unscripted? Oh shit, we lost Brian.
Guys? We lost him?
Yeah, we lost Brian. See if I can call him back.
Yeah, give him a call back. Bear with us, people.
Yep, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Once again, I will blame Blog Talk.
Don't be mean to Blog Talk Radio.
Hello?
Yeah, Brian?
Hey, guys, sorry about that.
That's cool, man. That's cool. No worries.
All right.
I have a question from somebody on Twitter. They want to ask you about your early ROH days and what was the feeling of it, and why didn't you wrestle at ROH unscripted?
Why didn't I wrestle at ROH unscripted? Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah. How was I feeling? I loved it. I didn't know what it was when it first happened. It was a brand new promotion, but it was great. It had all the top guys on the indies. I was super excited to be there. It was my first time wrestling in the Northeast, so it was a big deal. As far as not wrestling on unscripted, I don't remember which show that was, but if any show it would have been because I would have signed a contract between then and the next show with the WWE.
Definitely. Smart question. I have another one. Somebody asked, where is your favorite place to hang out in Bell Gardens?
What the heck?
Oh, boy. I mean, I guess it would have to be Joey Chaos's house. I mean, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I actually saw photos the other day. I saw like the whole Santino's school just hanging out in front of his yard, just drinking beers and having a good time. But shout out to Pablo on that question.
Yeah, I heard I missed the party.
Yeah. But let's get back to some more questions. All right, Quintessential Pro. It's coming up this weekend. I believe Friday?
No, Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Sorry, Saturday. And you're in a Fatal 4 match, and this match is pretty damn good. Just looking at the guys who are in the match. You got yourself going against Chad Cabrera, Tyler Bateman, and your former tag team partner, Paul London. What a Fatal 4 right there. I am pissed off that I'm going to be in San Diego and not at the show. But all four of you guys in that ring, I can tell you now, just by witnessing all these guys, they're going to tear it up. Can you talk to us about that match?
Yeah, I mean, they're tricky. It should be good. I'm hoping it'll be good. It's a four-way, so those are they could be chaotic. But obviously, I've got a long history with Paul, so that's going to be fun. Needless to say, Chad I've worked with a couple of times, and I think he's great. And I'm a fan of Tyler's. Never worked with him, so it should. I like all three of those guys, so it should be a good match. I'm hoping, but pretty confident it will be.
Yeah, definitely. To all those people that are going to be at the show, that's going to be that sleeper on the card. That's going to have everybody on their feet, guarantee. The card is stacked. You got Frankie Kazarian on the card, Adam Thorstrom, Willie Mack, Scorpio Sky, P.P. Ray, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae, Hudson Envy, B-Boy, Lil Cholo. I mean, the list goes on. This is going to be April 25th. People, doors open at 7:30. Bell time 8. It's going to be at Southgate, This is the Quintessential / AWS joint show. Be sure to be there, people. This show is going to be awesome. And I believe Cheerleader Melissa's going to be there, too, and Christina Vinary. Wow. Stacked.
Well, nice.
Yeah, definitely. You know what's funny? We were telling Brian before we went on air that the last time we saw you in that building, me and Skip actually saw you won the Santino title from one of your opponents in this weekend with Che Cabrera. So maybe lightning will strike twice out there.
I can only hope, right? I can only hope.
If you win, I'm your good luck charm. I'm telling you that.
Oh,
right?
thanks.
Because I just noticed that. Also, I also noticed that that pay-per-view where you're in the WWE No Way Out. I actually saw you and Paul beat Deuce and Domino at the Staples Center. So I've been your good luck charm. So hopefully.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah. So hopefully you can end up winning this weekend. I can say, hey, I'm Brian's good luck charm.
Oh, thanks. I hope so too.
All right. My next question I like to ask you, Brian, that also relates about your school. I remember when we had you on last time, you barely kind of not really barely started, but you also still run shows, the World Wrestling Pro Wrestling, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you still running the shows at Bell Gardens, California, at the same spot with the Santino's area?
I haven't run them in months since I got back from Europe in November. So last time I was run was probably September. I'd love to. Been talking with Joey about running at a different venue possibly, but that might be too far out there. But I would love to. I've been very lucky to have really good wrestlers on those shows, so I'd like to get them up and running again.
Yeah, and another thing, I want to ask you something about it's like an LA question for the LA scene here. I kind of noticed that it's like every promotion got their own stuff. Like PWG is Reseda, it's like that's their area. AWS got Southgate, EWF is in San Bernardino. It's all these companies. They have their own place.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that you wrestled at for Vendetta. They had a show in Torrance, California, about like a month ago.
Yeah,
and that was the first time they actually did it in Torrance. And I just want to ask you, do you feel like the South Bay area? Because I just moved to Hawthorne, so I just want to see if you think the South Bay should have their own promotion, like a monthly or whatever promotion they can have in the South Bay area.
I mean, if there's an interest and if people want to do it, then yeah, I say go for it. I know at least one of the Ballard brothers, if not both, were down in Torrance, and so they helped start that thing off to see how it will go, and I think it went well. So I'm hoping they run more shows. I hope they do. Just more shows is more work for everybody, and we all, us as wrestlers, love to wrestle. So. The more shows at any given weekend means more wrestlers are wrestling.
Yeah, because I think that was a good venue. They did the Vendetta show, but there was also a nice venue in Gardena when I went to that Wrestling Cares show about a year ago. I think that place is a good spot. So any promoters listening, there's a couple of venues in the South Bay area. I just want to see if there's any chance, I could check out a wrestling show that's right by my house, you know what I'm saying? That'd be sweet, I don't know. All right, I'm going to pass it to Tom.
Yeah, I actually got a text message from my buddy Bob, who's also a fellow New Yorker. Brian, he says he saw you back in 2CW a couple times back in 2011, and he says he's a big fan of yours. His question is, for a couple of years, you spent time in New Japan. Talk about your time with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I got to take a couple of random tours here and there. I'm not exactly sure how I got them. It might have been simply because meeting Gail Anjado years ago while working for the WWE, but they brought me in for a few tours, and I love going to Japan. The caliber of wrestlers out there, they're incredible. New Japan, you can watch it on TV here in the States even now. It's really, really, really good stuff. So I was happy to have gotten a few tours that I did. Wish I had more, but not in the cards. So yeah, I'm grateful for the shots I had.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any chance that maybe you'll get a call back? I don't know if it was just, they didn't want to book you anymore. I don't think there's bad blood, but is there a chance you'll ever be back there?
I don't know. If there's any bad blood, they certainly didn't tell me. I don't think that's the case. It's like there's only so many foreign spots. You got all these guys, and the guys that are using are incredible. So I think it's a numbers game, and I don't fault them one bit. So yeah, if they called and the schedule permits, I would love to do a tour because I love going to Japan. I love hanging out with all those guys, getting beers after the shows with my buddies. It's a blast.
Are you surprised with how many people here in North America are getting introduced with New Japan and are kind of falling in love with it? Because Wrestle Kingdom 9 was kind of the first really introduction for a lot of new fans, and immediately now people are talking about, Tanahashi, Nakamura, Okada, and now they want to watch everything. Are you surprised with how big it's getting in the U.S. so quickly?
No, I don't think so. Just because there's so many people that like wrestling. Even if it's 0.5%, that's still, a couple of million people in the United States. So I'm not surprised. These are people that would actively look for wrestling. They stumble across it. They give it a shot. And the product they put on is really, really good. On top of that, people have DVRs now, too. So you might not even be watching it, but you see wrestling and you just say, screw it, I'll record it. So.
Great point. Great point.
It's
I
funny
was going to say thank you to my friend Bob for the question. So go ahead, Stan.
It's funny how you guys just mentioned New Japan, because the best way to watch it nowadays is just get their new network, which is called New Japan World. You can watch any New Japan match ever. You can go back from when Hulk Hogan made a visit there, when Ric Flair made a visit. I have two questions in one. Who are your favorite guys to watch out there currently, right now?
Out there, I guess I have to say Taichi always really entertained me. All the top guys are great. The top guys for a reason. I think, to me, Ishii.
That's my guy.
I just, man, you can feel him through the screen. He's got all these guys are great, but Ishii's got certain something. Ishii's the one I like.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've never seen that guy put on a bad match ever. Like, ever since I started watching the product, like, I've always been happy watching all of his matches. And I believe on the Dave Meltzer report, I think he had like 4 top matches of the year of last year. Like, the guy's amazing. So yeah. But my next question, can you name at least 3 wrestlers right now that don't really have a buzz yet, but they're gonna come up, and a lot of folks are gonna know them, that are like training right now? Can you?
Oh well, I'll give you. I mean, 3 of Santino's guys. You know, with Jay, Eli. Who else would I put next? I mean, now Famous Bees, known and out there, but hopefully he'll just get bigger and bigger. Those are 3 local guys that are, I think, are great. And of course, I'm gonna say Serial Man with that character. How could you not go with that? Well, then I'll just start listing all my suits, Desi and Tyler, and I'll go on and on. But these guys are out and going right now and putting on really good matches, like Ray Rosas, Peter Avalon, are another 2 really good local guys.
Yeah, man. Definitely. To all those folks that have never heard of none of these guys' names, I guarantee you, one of the guys, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of P.P. Ray and Famous B and those guys, but Eli Everfly is amazing. All I have to say, folks, whenever this guy, Eli Everfly, starts really getting booked real heavy, you're going to just thank Santino's bros for training him. Like, the guy's a beast. That's all I'm saying. But I'm going to pass it on to Oscar and Tom. They're going to ask 2 more questions, and we'll let you go, Brian.
All right.
Cool beans.
All right. All right. I'm gonna ask you something. I like to call you the Undertaker of PWG because you actually only appear once a year there. Yeah. My question is: any future plans for PWG? Maybe sometime this year, maybe the next show or 2, because they announced like 4 shows in the next 4 months. So, are you planning to have a wrestling match in PWG?
There's nothing scheduled. You know, I think Danny was happy with the matches I put on.
Yeah.
But they've got their guys, and the guys they use are awesome. You know, if he wants to bring me in to wrestle a match, and I'm open, I would love to do it, though. Those guys are really good. I couldn't imagine wrestling one of them and not being excited to wrestle them for one reason or another.
Yeah, if they ever wanted to bring you back, I'd like to see you and Trevor Lee get it on. I mean, that's something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that would be something great. I mean, I saw you and O'Reilly killed it at Coincidential about a year ago. I mean, I think you and Trevor Lee will have a same type of match like you had with Kyle at Coincidential at a PWG ring. You know, I think you guys will kill it out there if they want to bring you back. So, or you know what? You know what? For our listeners, if you want to see that, maybe you should hit up at the PWG and bug the shit out of them, and maybe it'll happen. So
there you go.
There you go. You see. And my final question I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you kind of like the same thing when last time we had you on. I remember the last time we had you on, I asked you my final question before I go to sleep, what Brian Kendrick match in the WWE Network I should watch. And then you answered the brawl match from Vengeance 2003 when you were dancing around the bar area and everybody had a nice brawl match. So you told me to watch that match. So this time, before I go to sleep, what Brian Kendrick match I should watch in the WWE Network?
Oh, Brian Kendrick versus Chad Collier from Sunday Night Heat.
I don't know if they have Sunday Night Heat on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How about the one where pay-per-view? Okie doke. I don't know when, but the one against it was Paul and myself against Casey James and Idol Stevens.
Casey James, Idol Stevens. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look into that.
I guess. Bon appetit.
All right, then. All right, go ahead, Tom.
My final question for you, Brian, is where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Do you see yourself still training, still running your school? Do you see yourself maybe going a little bit more into the business aspect of professional wrestling? Where do you see yourself?
Wow. That's a good question. I don't know exactly. 'Cause I'm trying to do a little bit of everything at the same time. Keep myself actively wrestling on the weekends, training during the week. All things considered, I'd love to still be involved in wrestling and running a show full of puppets. It'll make sense when you see it. Trust me.
Yeah, I think that's, it's a smart plan. Keep active on the weekends, and I think what you're doing now is some good stuff. And earlier you were talking about training Eva Marie, and a lot of people were praising her because a lot of people were on her case about her ring work, and with you helping her down here, I think that's going to only increase your stock as a trainer as well. So what you're doing right now, I think, is the perfect plan long term in pro wrestling.
Well, thanks. So far, so good.
Yeah, you know what, Brian? Like me, myself, as a fan, I would love to see you become a trainer down in NXT, because I see they've been basically bringing in a lot of new faces. Like Jimmy Jacobs is, I believe he's one of the head writers, or not head writers, but he's going to be writing stories for the WWE soon. So it'll be nice to see somebody else, like you, help out the kids down there in Florida. That's something that
I wouldn't mind it. We'll see what we'll see what's in the cards, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Real quick, before we let you go, Brian, do you want to give out some social medias, like your Twitter, maybe your Pro Wrestling Tees if you have one, maybe give out your school email again so folks can look into it again?
Yeah, I do have a Pro Wrestling Tees, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot all about it. And man, I swear, you'll have to get the T-shirt, but please just check out what it looks like because it's freaking hilarious. This Japanese guy designed it, and it's killer. I'm sorry, it's just on my name, Brian Kendrick. Twitter, it had to be changed recently. I never used it. My wife runs it. Mr. Brian Kendrick, I think is what it is. That's it. BK School of PW for the website there. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Man, thank you for taking your time out to talk to us. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Always a great convo with BK.
Well, thanks, guys. All the best. I'll talk with you guys around the bend.
All right, man.
Take care, fellas. Bye.
You too.
All right, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the man, the Brian Kendrick. Great dude. Always a great time. This is actually my first time actually get to interview him because the last time he was on WHRadio, I was not on the show, so it was fun. Fun to get to talk to Brian Kendrick. Now I can say I had the privilege in interviewing Paul Leonard and Brian Kendrick both, but not at the same time. Probably two of the best tag teams ever be in the indie scene. Great dudes. And
I mean, I think anybody that listened to that interview and is listening on YouTube or iTunes or any form of media, you can just you know how just chill Brian Kendrick is, and he's one of the best guys in the business. He knows this business inside and out. When you have your own school, obviously there's something that you're doing right, and you're training a lot of people, and you never hear anything bad about Brian Kendrick. So it was a great interview. It's great talking to him.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest dudes I've ever met in professional wrestling, period. Nice guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, and I'll be seeing him on Saturday. And I just noticed something when he mentioned about the match I should watch before I go to sleep. If you guys don't know, Idol Stevens, that's Damien Sandow. So it's basically going to watch a whole match with him in London against Sandow and Casey James. So just to put it out there.
Definitely, man. Real quickly, let's take a quick break. Play like 2 sound bites or maybe even 3, and we'll get back to some WHRadio. We'll be right back.
Hello, friends. This is Matt Seidel. You are using your brain and listening to Wrestling Head. Respect.
My name is Rich Swan, and we're at PWG, but you are now listening to the WrestleHead Radio.
Hey guys, this is Pikachu, and I'm challenging Wrestling Heads Radio to a Pokemon battle. Boom, baby.
Welcome back to Wrestling Heads Radio. Again, this is Skits, and I'm here with Tom and Oscar. And I guess we'll get into some Raw talk. Talk about, I think the rumors have been cleared. Talk about Seth Rollins' curb stomp being banned. And some more things. I also want to talk about certain guys on the WWE roster, and one of those guys is Dean Ambrose. I wanted to talk about him. We'll talk about some Tough Enough. Also some Ring of Honor announcements that have been made today too. So let's get into it. Basically, Raw, they opened up with Randy Orton. Cutting a promo, basically saying he's going to get his hands on Seth Rollins by the end of the night. Because for those that don't know, the RKO is banned in a match with them at Extreme Rules. So Seth Rollins comes down and he basically cuts his part of the promo saying that he's the best WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's smart. He's untouchable. And basically, Orton just said by the end of the night, I'm going to RKO as many people as I can, and I'm going to RKO, and I'm going to give you the RKO to you. So that basically started the whole Raw off with that promo. But to move on to matches that happened tonight, Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper were booked that night. Ambrose and Harper, we all knew that these guys have been feuding since Mania when Luke Harper powerbombed him to that ladder, and what a sight! All I could say, I'm pretty sure me and Oscar both had our hands on our head like wow when Harper powerbombed Ambrose into the ladder that at WrestleMania. But I guess from then they've been going at it. Harper's been jumping Ambrose or whatnot, and nothing's really been done. So the match didn't really start because these guys were just brawling and just beating the shit out of each other outside the ring, which is basically leading on to them to have a Chicago street fight at Extreme Rules. But one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, Dean Ambrose. Has the WWE forgot him is the question.
No, I don't think so. I mean, why would they? I mean, I think that right now they just need to put a spot for him. I mean, what else can you put for Dean Ambrose? I mean, why not put him against Luke Harper? We don't want to see another Bray versus Dean Ambrose match. And which they announced they're going to have a match at Extreme Rules. I'm actually going to predict he's going to win that match. So no, I didn't even forget about him. I still think he could have a WWE title run, but not now. But let's just let him have a few of his other guys around and see what else they could do with him. I think right now just think he's going to put him around against other feuds. Maybe he'll win the Money in the Bank this year. So I don't have my thoughts right now on him. So it's all good to me.
So are you saying that's your early prediction of Ambrose winning Money in the Bank?
Not yet. Depends who they put in, and let's see how the storyline goes on between now and Money in the Bank. But I'm just saying, if anything, like say Money in the Bank was this Sunday, I will pick Dean Ambrose. So let's see what happens in the next few months.
The thing with Ambrose is WWE last year, around the summer, Ambrose was being built up as like a main guy. He was in big storylines. He was being pushed as a top babyface. But once Roman Reigns started coming back, that's when Ambrose was kind of being moved out of the picture. Same thing with Ziggler. I put Ambrose and Ziggler in the same category right now in the sense that they're high mid-carders, and they're guys that WWE knows are going to have good matches, and they're guys they know the crowd's going to cheer for, but they're not going to push them really heavily into the main event scene because they have the guys that they want in there instead. So I wouldn't say they forgot about Ambrose. I think they've killed a lot of his momentum. I mean, he was so incredibly over last year when he was feuding with Rollins. They crushed that feud, and I think they could have built it back up leading into Mania this year. I think that would have been good, even though the Randy Orton Seth Rollins match was good, and it had one of the best RKOs we've ever seen. But it's just kind of like Dean Ambrose. Yeah, he's still going to get cheered, but he's going to be in a random feud, and I feel like that's going to be his place for a while. I think the turning point for Dean Ambrose is when he finally turns heel. I think once he turns heel, he'll be a top heel in the company. I feel like a face Dean Ambrose doesn't work as well as a heel Dean Ambrose would. I feel like once he gets put in that heel spot, he'll be one of the top heels in that company fighting for the title. And, just tearing shit up. I feel like the face Dean Ambrose doesn't really work right now in the WWE.
Yeah. I was talking to some folks earlier, and I really think this match with Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose, this mini feud, is like one of the underrated feuds right now that's going into Extreme Rules. Like, it's very underrated because both guys are great wrestlers. Like, it's going to be a good match, like, hands down. Like, yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people know the talent that Harper and Ambrose have, but it's just the amount of time that WWE invests into one feud as compared to another. They only do a couple minutes for the Ambrose-Harper feud per week in comparison to John Cena versus Rusev, which they give multiple segments. They have the John Cena Open Challenge every week. They have him talking about Rusev every week. The Seth Rollins, Randy Orton match, of course, is going to get the most time because it's the main event, but the Roman Reigns Big Show gets multiple segments a week. It's just how WWE books feuds and how they look in comparison to others and how people are going to care about them because of that.
Yeah. There's something I'd like to comment about what you said about Dean Ambrose, how his face don't work for you. I mean, to me, I feel like he's going to be a face for a while. It's because I just noticed that every time I go to the WWE show, he always has one of the loudest reactions. From SummerSlam to, I want to say, what other WWE shows I went to, WrestleMania. I mean, he gets like the loudest reaction, at least the top three.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I feel like a lot of his pops have gone down significantly. Like, compare them from SummerSlam and Hell in a Cell and Night of Champions when he came back and compare them to, like, tonight. Yeah, he's still getting cheered pretty heavily, but he was, you could even argue that he might have been the number one babyface in the company back when he was feuding with Rollins. He could have been the number one babyface.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was even rumors that he might even win the Royal Rumble. But as of right now, I don't feel like they gave up on him or anything like that. But like I said earlier, he could win the Money in the Bank this year. So, I mean, and who else could win it? You know, I doubt a heel is going to carry it all year. I think he's going to get a babyface this time. So, if anything, it probably will be Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Hold on one sec. I think, oh shit, that was actually somebody asking the question on Twitter about Brian, but Brian's already off. But yeah, I definitely agree both ways with you guys saying. Like, he does get that reaction. He's super over with the fans. Like, as soon as that hits, the fans go ridiculous nuts. And also, him as a heel would, could also change like the whole game with like Dean Ambrose. Like, that can change him, period. That can make him a star overnight. Look at Seth Rollins. Like, as soon as he turned heel, that made him a star overnight. So, it can go both ways for him, basically. But I'm definitely looking forward to see what Ambrose and Luke Harper got for us this Sunday. And also, Nathan agrees with you. He says Dean Ambrose should win this year's Money in the Bank because, as of now, I could care less about him. He's putting on good matches. I don't know. He's putting on good matches. That's all I can say. I know the whole John Cena, he has the U.S. title thing going on. That match, when Ambrose came down, like, him and Cena put on a hell of a match. That was pay-per-view caliber type of match. Made Cena look good. I'm not even shitting on Cena. Cena's not a bad wrestler. Those two gel well together. And anytime you see Ambrose in a ring with a guy like Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and even like we just said, like a Luke Harper, he's going to put on a good match. He's going to put on his A game. I've never seen him slack in the ring. And how could you not care about somebody that doesn't put on a good match? That's just me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like I said, I still stand by the fact that I really don't think Dean Ambrose is going to get really far as a face in the company. Because I think eventually Rollins is going to turn. I think Rollins is like the guy that can easily turn from the main heel to one of the main faces in the company pretty easily. I think he can turn into like one of the most likable guys in the company, and then that could leave a spot for Ambrose to become the main heel in the company, and I think that would suit him a little bit better because he wouldn't be as lost as I think he is right now.
Yeah, definitely. I know Nathan's argument is way different. He says he puts on good matches, but his character I have issues with because it doesn't interest me at all. He's just a guy that goes out there to fights. That's all. That's the character that I see. But I guess to each his own. I guess you have the number if you want to call and talk to us about Ambrose if you want. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. On Raw, there was a number one contenders matchup. The winner will get a tag team title shot against Cesaro and Kid at Extreme Rules, and it was with the Lucha Dragons and the New Day. The match was okay. It was pretty. It was okay. One thing that was the highlight of the match was the New Day sucks chants. It really made that tag team look even. It made them look bothered and kind of heel a little bit. Not too heel, but kind of heel. All I have to say is that the Lucha Dragons, they are such a good tag team together. This Sin Cara that we see now is 10 times better than the original Sin Cara. When like people talk about Sin Cara, the original Sin Cara and the new Sin Cara, it really doesn't matter because Sin Cara is a WWE character. He's a WWE character because the guy who was Sin Cara before Sin Cara is Sin Cara now. What's his real name? Oscar?
Mystico. I think now he's mainly known as Mysterious, something like that. It's like he changed his name in AAA now. So. Yeah.
Well, anyways, what I'm saying, like, Kalisto and Sin Cara, like, them as a tag team, they gel so well together, and I thought they did well tonight in the matchup. But the whole thing with the whole New Day on how they got the win, it was not by pinning Lucha Dragons, which is a good thing. You don't want to, make those guys look weak when they're newcomers to the roster. So they had it where all teams were outside the ring. I believe both Lucha Dragons got on the top rope, and they did like a moonsault on Big E and Kofi Kingston, and the refs counting or whatnot, and I guess they're all trying to get in, and once Sin Cara's trying to get in, somehow Xavier Woods ends up under the ring, and he's holding Sin Cara's foot. So they got the win that way in a cheap way. And is this leading on to a New Day look, a New Day new? Is this going to be like a brand New Day coming? Or are they still going to be dressed as like bums? I don't know. Like, let's get your thoughts, guys.
I think they're turning heel. I kind of suspected at the time when Big E was tweeting out, New Day sucks, you guys think this and that, and then what we just saw today, having Xavier Woods helping them win in a heel faction way. I mean, it kind of shows me they're turning heel, and I kind of see, like, this weekend in that pre-show match, I kind of see the Lucha Dragons costing them the match, like, for revenge. So I'm thinking they're gonna have a little rivalry going on with Lucha Dragons and the New Day. That's how I see it. And we had a little argument about like how the Lucha Dragons should stay with the tag team scene or tag team picture scene. I think this is the way. That's a good way they're doing it. Have them lose to the New Day and then have them go against the New Day. Because remember me and Skid, me and you on Thursday were like going neck to neck about it, and so I think that's a good way they're going to do it. So just have them stay with the tag team title team for right now.
Who the fuck said that?
Mysterious Mexican.
Tell him to go shoot himself.
I think it's really funny what they're doing. I think it's really interesting what they're doing with the New Day, because it felt like tonight when they were hearing the New Day sucks chant that they were, getting annoyed by it, and they were getting pissed off that the fans were chanting New Day sucks. Which I'm glad. I'm glad that stuck. I was kind of worried that, some of these crowds are so quiet and they don't do a lot of the chants that some of the, the more smarty crowds might do, like the WrestleMania crowds or the Chicago crowds or the New York City crowds or the LA crowds. Crowds like that are very vocal. But the New Day such chant seems to be sticking. And it's also interesting putting a heel team in the New Day against a heel team in Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Most likely when Cesaro and Kidd come out this Sunday, they're going to be cheered like crazy because that Chicago crowd's going to love Cesaro and Kidd. So it's interesting. At least it's, I still think the New Day gimmick, I don't know where they're going to go from here. At least it's something different. At least, we are seeing a bit more heelish tactics and all that. So I can say it's something different, which is good.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what you're saying where it's going, but I feel like they found something what to do with it now that they know the crowd don't like the team. I could see them maybe even backstabbing Kofi, because Kofi, if you notice, he ain't doing nothing heelish. Only Xavier Woods and Big E. But we'll see where it goes to. I mean, I think they know where they're going. I think they have a plan for New Day.
I don't know if I can agree with that. Kofi was doing some heel shit. I know it's really not a big thing, but the way he was kicking him, you know, like I've never seen Kofi like really do like just keep kicking, you know, like while the ref is counting. You know, that was some heel tactics. You know, he hasn't really like put him out there yet. So Kofi was definitely doing some heel tactics tonight.
Yeah, I think they all were. You know, you could see that Big E was, you know...
Big E was doing it the most, though.
I'd say Xavier did the most heel stuff. You know, he was on the outside trying to get the New Day chants going, and when they would do sucks, he would get pissed off, and he would start, you know, like flailing his arms in frustration. Big E just kind of had that pissed off look on his face. Kofi looked like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. But I mean, I said this a while ago, especially in Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston definitely needed a heel turn, whether it is part of the New Day or whether he was solo. Regardless of where he was, he needed a heel turn to freshen up his character in the company, because how much longer could he have kept going in that company just being Kofi Kingston, the happy, you know, go-lucky guy that loses all the time? You can't keep doing that. So he needed a heel turn eventually. So hopefully it's going to freshen up all three of the guys' character as well.
Yeah. So we'll see if New Day can go back to the New Day that they were going to start with. With Xavier Woods with the glasses on and shit. Let's see that New Day. If we really want to fuck with the New Day, that's the New Day we need to see. Not no fucking New Day that's dancing to church music and shit, and people can give two shits about. Because nobody really cared about the New Day. All they cared about was the New Day chant. Like, nobody was, like, out there, like, you know, saying, oh, for the New Day to win. If anybody in the world wanted the New Day to actually win a match, like I said to, I'm going to say his real name, like the same thing, like I said to Mysterious, shoot yourself, for sure. But let's move on, guys. Let's see what happens at SmackDown. Maybe they'll do some more heel shit. Fandango, Curtis Axel, who cares? Real quick, let me say one thing about Fandango. Why, WWE? Why? How can he just be heel? And just because you guys go to England, you turn them face just so they can do the chant. Stop it.
They're trying to bring that back.
Nobody cares though. Like, Fandango's a bum. He's irrelevant. Let's be real. Honestly, I think they can do more things with Curtis Axel than Fandango. I really think so.
Oh, well.
But let's move on. Both guys are like very irrelevant right now. Naomi, Brie Bella, kind of both irrelevant. But let's talk about Naomi. Let's talk about Naomi being a heel. It's kind of weird. Was Brie Bella face tonight, or was she heel?
Yeah, I kind of read right now before we went on air, because I was confused about this. I think they just turned to both baby faces. They came in as baby faces during the tour up in Europe. So I think it's officially their baby faces, and might as well do it, because if you're gonna have Naomi heel and you're gonna have her feud with Nikki, it would not make sense having both heels going at it.
Because one thing I can say, Nikki was still kind of doing some heel shit too. Like after Naomi beat Bree, she put the belt up. Heels don't do shit like that. I mean, excuse me, faces don't do stuff like that. Like it's much more of a heel thing, I would say.
And at the same time, you gotta look at their entrance. Like Bree, the way she came out, it was like the same thing how she used to come out when she used to be solo at a time when they were feuding. So they're doing this. She's doing the smile thing, the pointing, the sky, whatever Bree used to do. So it's the same thing. So I kind of concern both baby faces now.
Who knows?
You know what will be really nice?
I don't get it. Like they switched the divas from heel to face like at the most random fucking point. Like Naomi just randomly turned heel out of nowhere. And then the Bellas were like kind of face tonight, but they're kind of heel, but they're still the Bellas and the bitches, but they were kind of getting cheered. It was like, what the fuck? Like we have clear cut like heels and faces in the company. Like some people can be tweeners, like Brock Lesnar. He's not a heel or a face. He just kicks everybody's fucking ass. But like the WWE is so confused on what to do with the divas, and it's unbelievable when it's so obvious with how much talent they have in that divas division and how much talent they have down in NXT. You know, what I think they need to do is, they're picking up all these, indie guys, like possibly Samoa Joe. We don't know on that yet. But Uhaa Nation is definitely down there. You have all the talent guys down there currently. But eventually all the divas down, actually I should say the women down in NXT, like Becky Lynch, Bayley, Charlotte, they're all going to be on the main roster, and NXT they're not going to have the same women's division. So you need to start bringing in some indie talent.
Well, Jasmine from Canada. I know she's I know Matt mentions her a lot. She's one person that got recruited, one of the new recruits, and there's another girl, I forget her name. Yeah,
hopefully, like I said, hopefully WWE starts stacking NXT with women too.
Real quick,
I've said this too many fucking times. They'll say it again because it doesn't matter how many times they'll say it, it's still going to be true. It is a goddamn shame that Candice LeRae is not in NXT right now, tearing it up with Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Who knows? Candice LeRae's probably going to be part of Tough Enough. Who knows? Never know. Anything's possible. But I think we have Nathan from Eyes on the Rain on hold. Let's throw him on.
Hey, what's up,
Nathan?
Guys?
What's up, Nathan?
Hey. What's going on?
How you doing, bud? Man, just getting into this Raw talk. Just got finished talking about the Divas. Next, there was a segment Roman Reigns, and it was like whatever, because the only funny part about it was when Bo Dallas came down cracking jokes. And it kind of was a waste of fucking time, I believe. He basically got Superman punched and got speared. But it's basically building on to the match with Big Show and Roman Reigns, which nobody gives two fucking shit about. How many times have we seen that?
It's been 20 times so far this year. And we're not even through April yet.
Damn.
And then
shame.
I just read multiple reports that said that they're still going to be doing Roman Reigns versus Big Show matches in June. So we have at least 2 more months to look forward to.
Jesus. What is this company? I'm serious when I say this. WWE does a lot of stupid shit. We all know this. It's been like this for I don't know how many years now. The company
a lot of fuckery shit.
They do stupid shit every month, and this has been going on for quite a few decades. But, you know, you had this guy in Roman Reigns that the people were into a little bit when he broke off from the Shield. But then you kept that Shield thing with Roman Reigns. He never identified himself as separate from the Shield like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose did. He's still wearing the gear. He still has the music. He still comes out from the crowd. He's not any different. And then the crowd starts turning on him.
He still says believe that and has the same catchphrases still.
And then people start turning on him because he's being shoved down our throats, and we don't want to see him.
I wouldn't even say shoved down the throat.
Oh,
I just think people don't like him.
Roman Reigns has been shoved down our throats ever since he came back from his surgery. He has been shoved down our throats.
Ever since he came back from surgery, they probably would have took their time with it a little bit more, but since he came back from surgery and was out for that long, they had to do it a lot faster than I think they originally wanted.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, it might not completely be WWE and Roman Reigns' fault, but I still don't like the way that they always go about pushing new talent.
Yeah.
Because this is nothing new. They did the same thing with Cena and everybody else.
Yeah, and think about how many times during that whole Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns feud, think about how many times Paul Heyman went out there and praised the hell out of Roman Reigns, who has yet to prove himself, but they still had Paul Heyman go out there and praise the guy as if he was the next star. But he hadn't proved anything yet. He had one singles match against Randy Orton. That's it. But they still had Paul Heyman, who is the best guy on the microphone and who people watch WWE just to see Paul Heyman sometimes. And that's shoving it down our throat. That's making it so like, oh, you see Paul Heyman is talking good about Roman Reigns. You should like him. You see, you know, he's a cool guy. You should like him. You know, it's just so forceful that
one thing I didn't like when they were building towards Mania was the fact that they presented this guy, but yet they never told us why we're supposed to like him. Mm-hmm. They never, and that's what they do with a lot of people. They don't tell us why we're supposed to like these guys and what to invest in.
I mean, one thing I want to say about Roman Reigns, if they're really going to have him and Big Show feud to June, that's not a good way to present somebody that you guys actually want to push. But that's on them if that's the plan. But we'll see what happens with the whole Roman Reigns situation. Let's move on. Sheamus. I want to talk about Sheamus' character, but tonight he basically just jobbed Zack Ryder. This whole new Sheamus, I'm starting to like. I actually liked. This is my first time actually, you know, getting to see Sheamus since he came back. We saw him attack Daniel Bryan and Ziggler after WrestleMania. After that, I really haven't seen his matches or anything like that. But I know this really wasn't a match, but his character as a heel is like, you gotta like Sheamus now. Like, he's not that bad of a heel. Like, the guy is very ruthless and he doesn't give a shit. I'm a big fan of because honestly, I've never seen him come down to his music either. And once I saw that music, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And it was Sheamus. It was a pretty good entrance too. Props to the whole new look for Sheamus and the whole package. You guys' thoughts on Sheamus' character now?
Well, I'm sure Tom always mentioned every week he likes the new music and everything. You guys love it. I think didn't we mention last week that Sheamus should be either the Intercontinental Champion if Daniel Bryan loses the title, or the U.S. Champion? We just mentioned that, I think, last week on the last show. So, I mean, it seems like everybody's all into this new Sheamus thing, the mohawk, the beard, the new music. I mean, he's always been a great heel. He's always been, even when he first started. He's a perfect example of how a heel is. give him a lot of heat. He gets a lot of heat. He's going against the guys that like a lot of people like, the little guys like Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. So he's doing what a heel's supposed to do, make everybody piss everybody off, you know.
I'm still. I don't know about him holding no fucking IC title. That's just me. But him beating people up like that, I'm definitely fine with that. And having good matches with certain with different guys. But yeah, anybody else want to share any thoughts on Sheamus tonight?
I thought he did. I thought that was awesome what he was doing with Zack Ryder, just like messing with the guy, and he had the microphone and he was like, you guys only want to see 5 seconds of Zack Ryder, and he was just slapping the shit out of him, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great heel work. You know, I've said it that I've been a fan of Sheamus coming back as a heel, and he's doing great. Like I said, I say it every week, but it's such a breath of fresh air for Sheamus. It's a brand new character. It's a brand new look. It's going to be brand new matches. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is obviously, you know, him versus Ziggler should be good, but why in the fucking blue hell is this a kiss me arse match? Why?
Who fucking knows?
I still think there's going to be some kind of
logically explain this to me.
I think there's going to be some kind of twist, honestly, because I don't see them doing a actual kiss my ass match in a WWE context. And this company is so ridiculous sometimes that I honestly could see them bringing out a horse and having the loser have to kiss the horse, which sounds really retarded, but
that's even a worse idea.
I know.
This company is just so, like I said, I just said it a couple minutes ago, they are so fucking stupid. Oh, my God.
I don't know, dude. Who knows? But, we'll definitely, see what happens with that. Maybe that won't even happen, you know. Who knows? You know how WWE is. They'll throw a curveball out of nowhere.
Fucking swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vince Russo doesn't have a job anymore, so.
As far as we know, with the amount of swerves we've seen in the WWE in the past couple months, I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised.
This is true. He could secretly be working for the company.
Yeah. Next match, John Cena did his open challenge for the U.S. title, and I thought somebody else was going to come down, but the person that came down was Kane.
Who were you expecting?
Yeah.
Who was I expecting? Definitely not Kane. Somebody else, maybe like fucking.
Don't think Neville.
No, because they're never. Didn't Neville already have a chance, or no? Neville hasn't had a chance yet, huh? But
nope.
Neville, it could have been good to have Neville. Neville's been coming down for those type of matches. I was thinking, I don't know why I thought it was gonna be somebody real bummy like R-Truth. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like R-Truth or somebody. I just didn't see Kane coming in because Kane in the middle of a storyline.
It just seems like this show today was all focused almost on Kane. You know, like we started off with him. He wanted his 2 weeks notice, then Triple H talked him out of it, and made somehow Kane be the gatekeeper of the cage match in Rollins and Orton, and then all these backstage segments you see with Kane and Rollins, Triple H in the middle, have to say they have to get along. And then what fired him to be in the match was that he he just told him you're not the monster anymore. So basically that's basically how this match started, because Kane went to John Cena to prove he's still the monster, which he did not win the match. But unfortunately, this all is going to lead to Kane leaving the Authority, which I'm afraid of, that this could lead to a future pay-per-view match in Seth Rollins and Kane for the WWE title. This is what I'm worried about.
Say that one more time.
Yeah.
That last part.
Oh, I'm afraid that this might lead to a Kane versus Seth Rollins match for the title.
It's possible.
At a pay-per-view.
I don't know about a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Possible
yeah.
too.
Something interesting
possible.
I wanted to bring up since we're talking about Cena. Did you guys see the article on WWE.com where it was the 5 superstars that WWE wanted to see answer John Cena's U.S. title open challenge, and one of those guys was Mr. Kurt Angle. I mean, I don't think it's going anywhere. They mention Kurt Angle from time to time, but it's still very interesting.
Well, it's interesting in the fact that if you remember right, when the brands were still split and Kurt Angle was doing, because he did the U.S. title invitational open challenges.
I thought it was just the Kurt Angle Invitational.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was just the Kurt Angle Invitational, and John Cena ended up beating him, or not beating him, but ended up giving him a good showing, and then I think it led to a pay-per-view match.
That's
they could actually do that as a callback.
That match against Angle. So I thought it was just interesting that they mentioned that, and I think it's something that everybody's been clamoring for Angle to come back. I think just because people want to see him back in WWE, and also the other fact is we don't know how much longer Kurt Angle's going to be in the ring because the guy is a psycho and doesn't know when to call it quits and doesn't know when to stop doing moonsaults off of cages.
Yeah. Kurt Angle's a fucking man. But I don't know. We'll see who else maybe is down to answer that challenge. Just like we were just talking, one of those people who should have been is, for sure, I would have to say Neville, for sure. Neville should have been the guy, but who knows? Maybe next week. Let's go ahead and talk about. Hold on, let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk about the rest of the matches. So we'll be right back after this match. Excuse me, no, I said match. We'll be right back after these messages.
Bob Osol.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Gulak, and you are listening to Wrestling Heads Podcast.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament, bowler tournament. It's freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to Wrestling Heads Podcast.
Yes, definitely. I think we need more sound bites now. All right. The next match, it was Miz against Mizdow. And the theme of this match is whoever wins this match will get the right of the Miz name. So basically, the winner gets the name of the Miz and the music and everything, pretty much. And the Miz ended up winning the match because Summer Rae scratched Mizdow in the eyes, and she went to the side of the Miz instead of Mizdow. I thought that the Mizdow was going to win because I thought that Miz is going to take a little break from the WWE because supposedly he's going to be in a movie as well with Paige. That's why Paige is doing this quote-unquote injury angle with Paige. I don't know what this is going to, but what's next for Mizdow? Is he going to be Damien Sandow, or what's your guys' thoughts? What's next for Mizdow?
From what I read earlier, I read Miz is going to be at Extreme I don't know what type of match, and they could present Damian Sandow back, you know, to the crowd. So, and let them have a match.
They have just completely ruined this feud by putting it on TV for so many weeks. I don't care about this feud anymore. This feud has lost so much heat. I think a lot of it, first it had to do with Mizdow not winning the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. That was number one. Then number two, they put it on Raw the next night instead of waiting for the pay-per-view. They're just putting on free TV. And then number three is putting Summer Rae in this feud. You know, now it turns into, okay, this is a feud between Miz and Mizdow, and it's going to include the Marine Four. Like, who cares? They have completely and utterly ruined this feud, in my opinion. Like, I couldn't give two shit. This is on the level of Roman Reigns versus Big Show where I just couldn't give a shit.
Well, I wouldn't say it's that bad, but I kind of see where you're coming from.
It's not that bad, but it's gotten to the level where I just don't care.
Well, hold on.
So if they don't care, why should we care?
Well, hold on a second. I mean, you guys feel like they're doing them on TV instead of a pay-per-view because the Miz might not be available because they want to do this movie with Paige, the stupid Christmas movie they're supposed to film, and maybe that's the reason why they decided to do these matches on Raw instead of in a pay-per-view?
No. I think he'll still be at Extreme Rules. I think what they should have done is they should have just had, even if he was shooting a movie, they couldn't take out one day to bring him into Extreme Rules. Like, that's kind of stupid. You know, and the feud could have ended for a while at Extreme Rules with Mizdow beating The Miz. That's how it could have ended. And it could have ended perfectly like a normal feud should have. But instead, I think they just completely and utterly botched it.
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say, or it's hard for me to believe they're gonna have Miz take a day off from shooting just to do Extreme Rules, because that would mean that to be fair for Paige as well, because Paige could have a Divas title match, but they took her off as well. So I don't know if they can even do that.
I got a question for you regarding the Divas Championship match, and what do you think they're going to do with that? Do you think Naomi is going to take Paige's spot then?
I think Naomi right now, I don't know. I don't think Naomi's going to. I have a feeling her and Nikki are going to feud for a minute, and I think Naomi might win like later, and then sooner or later, like she's going to be destroying like every chick, and then out of nowhere, Paige comes back and gets her revenge. It's going to lead on to that. And you know, there's a lot of talk about Tamina Snuka coming back too.
Yeah, and at the same time, I don't know, I just get this feeling that Cameron might reunite with Naomi, and the Funk and Cactus will unite, and they're going to be going against the Bella Twins. There's 2-2 right there. I just got that feeling it's going to happen.
The actual theme song.
No, it's going to come on a new theme song, but I just got a feeling they're going to reunite somehow. But anyways.
I really hope that doesn't happen because I want Cameron to get released.
Cameron should have never got a job.
I know. And it's funny because I said the same thing about Eva Marie, that I wanted her gone because she was shit. But after seeing what she's been doing, and she's really been trying to get better, and she's been doing some impressive stuff. So I'll at least give Eva Marie a second chance. But Cameron, fuck off.
People kept telling me that Eva Marie was not the worst thing on the Divas roster, and that it was Cameron, and I disagreed with them because I wasn't a fan of Eva Marie, and I'm not a fan of both of them either. But considering that Eva Marie is doing training now and actually wants to get better, whereas Cameron doesn't give a shit,
yeah,
I think Cameron's like easily the worst diva on the roster.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella, or not Nikki, but Brie Bella to me is like a close second, though.
And you can tell that even Marie, I think, wants to get better in the fact that, you know, she's not even just down in the performance center, like, doing that. She went to Brian Kendrick, you know, who we just talked to, and she sought him out and said, you know, I want to get better. Can you help me? And, you know, probably with WWE's permission, too, because...
she's from L.A.
Yeah. So, at least I'll give her that. But like I said, Cameron's just, yeah, you know, she's not even a good heel. Even Marie I could see being a good heel if they put her in the right spot. But I think Cameron lost everybody when she was on Tough Enough, and she said her favorite match was Melina versus Alicia Fox.
It's funny because I watched that the other day. I actually watched that the other day. Funny.
Yeah, because it's on the...
it was hilarious.
Steve Austin's reaction is...
Steve Austin was hot. He was so pissed. Oh, man. But let's move on. Next match was Ryback. I'm pretty sure I honestly didn't see that match. That was a bathroom break. Pretty sure he jobbed Adam Rose.
Yeah,
but
he did.
Let's talk about what everybody's been talking about all day. The curb stomp. How do you guys feel about it? Let me throw my thoughts out there before everybody throws their thoughts. It's not a big deal to me because I know Seth Rollins has a lot of moves. If you watch some of his old shit, the guy has moves, no homo, up the ass. So he has moves that he can do like that. So he can find a finisher any day. Like, let's not really think that DDT is really a finisher that he did tonight. Maybe he really didn't have nothing, you know, in his head to do. He's like, just do this DDT tonight, and I'll figure out something. Like, and I understand why they're banning it. I mean, look right now, Daniel Bryan with his concussion. Well, there's rumors that he had a concussion, and there's other rumors that he didn't have a concussion. But to stop the concussion, that's you know, reason why I would see them stopping it. And I don't think that's a problem. It's not a big deal because Seth Rollins is a talented dude. So fuck it, you know. He can find another move.
Yeah.
The question is,
I mean, that's true, and it's what a lot of people are saying. I would like to see him, if they're going to get rid of the curb stomp, use the Phoenix Splash more. I mean, he's already done it once. Bring it back. It could be one of those moves that really finishes off guys. But I just don't understand why they had to get rid of the curb stomp. It was a great finishing move. It fit Seth Rollins perfectly. It, you know, without the curb stomp, we wouldn't have seen that great RKO at WrestleMania. So
I just said it. I mean, for the concussions, I mean, that's probably the reason.
But everybody has gotten a concussion from the curb stomp. I can understand if people have gotten, you know, concussions from the curb stomp, but nobody has it.
Maybe guys have been complaining about it too. That's another thought too.
Nobody, there's no report of people complaining about it.
He does it on the back.
And look how Brock Lesnar takes it. Brock Lesnar took that thing like he was dead. And it's how you sell the move. It's not the move in itself, it's how you can sell it, you know. In that same sense, okay, are you going to ban Big Show's knockout punch? Are you going to ban punches altogether? All right. Are you going to ban the dirty deed because that lands people on their head? Are you going to ban German suplexes and backdrops? And where do you draw the line?
Pretty soon they'll ban wrestling rings and they'll be wrestling in a bouncy castle.
Well,
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you got to think. Look, the WWE and the NFL, they're both two companies, I think, that they're really, really taking this concussion thing very, very seriously. Because, you know, they have their own people done stupid things, like Chris Benoit done stupid things. And the NFL, well, you had Junior Seau doing something stupid. So they're really afraid of, you know, in the future, someone like a John Cena might go crazy, or a Tom Brady might go crazy. You know, I mean, they don't want no more bad press, so I understand why they did the curb stop. And it was funny when you mentioned, Tom, about the Phoenix. I mean, that's what I thought as well. Why can you have the Phoenix be the finisher? But at the same time, you know, would that work better if he's maybe a baby face? If anything, I mean, as a heel, okay.
I don't know. I think the Phoenix Splash is a move that you want to use like at pay-per-view. You got to find something else. You got to use that move like special times. You can't use it like at Raws. That would be like one of those moves, and you're at a pay-per-view, and people don't know that you really have that move, like the casual fans, and you just pull it out of nowhere. He has to come with something else, and I know he can come with something else. It's really not that hard, because you seen Dean Ambrose twitch this Dirty Deeds, right? Remember, it used to look different before how it is now?
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
and watch next, they're gonna ban. Watch next, they're gonna ban that move Kalisto does when he's like doing almost like a flip, but it makes you land the head, like a hurricanrana, but makes you land the head. I think that's gonna be banned pretty soon. Watch. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? When the opponent's on his knees and he does the hurricanrana on the head, that's gonna be banned. Watch.
Yep, that's next probably. And I just like.
I don't know.
It's just, for me, it's the problem is, where do you draw the line? Are you just going to get rid of every move that has to involve somebody's head? You know, is that where you're going to draw the line? Is that you can't do any moves with somebody's head?
Tom, look at the NFL. They're changing the rules every freaking season. You know, they're trying to prevent concussions. I mean, the quarterback rules is ridiculous. I mean, the tackles. I mean, how the hell are you going to play defense? Yeah, how the hell are you going to tackle?
And you know, this is my problem. And you know, I've never been in a wrestling ring. I've never been a wrestler, so I can say this from experience. But so many guys have gone on record to say that when you sign up for football, hockey, and pro wrestling, and all these dangerous contact sports, you know the risk going in. You know what your body's going to go through. You know you're going to get injuries. You know you're going to be hurt. You know that there's risk involved in being in these businesses. So, and then people, you know, they start changing things. And yes, it's very important for, you know, professional sports and pro wrestling to keep an eye and keep aware on concussions. It's very important. But that doesn't mean taking away from the product. It just means if somebody happens to get a concussion from a move, then you take care of them. You take care of them properly. It doesn't mean banning everything about the sport. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's where do you draw the line?
Well,
I don't know.
Interesting as soon as this news broke, and this is a really far-fetched argument, and I think it's absolutely stupid, but I'll just throw it out there. And first I need to ask you guys, are any of you guys, I'm pretty sure I know the answer from Skips, and I know the answer from Oscar, but are any of you guys on this show parents?
No.
Okay.
I think none of us are parents.
Okay. Well, I saw this guy. His name is Matt. Well, he's from ESPN, and he basically said, well, they should banning the curb stomp was a good idea because if I'm a parent and I let my kids wrestle, I don't want my kids seeing that move and having them try to do it. It's like, no, you're a parent. It's your responsible as a parent to say, no, knock it off, don't do that shit. They have that don't try this at home message on their TVs for a reason, so your kids don't do that stuff, and it's, as a parent, it's your responsibility to tell your kids to knock that shit off. So that, like, because as soon as this news broke, it was like a bunch of people were just saying all this weird stuff. And that was the biggest thing that I can remember seeing was that, it's good that they banned this move because I don't want to see my kid doing it. No, screw you. This has nothing to do with your dumb kid. It has everything to do with wrestling.
You know?
Yeah.
I know there's some disagreements on here, but just like JR said, I really don't find it a big deal. There's lots of moves that he can come up with, and I know he can find another finisher that everybody's going to start liking, so I'm not really upset with it. But we'll see, like, what happens, like, because I'm pretty sure the movie he did tonight is not that finish. It's not going to be his finisher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something that he just had to think of off the fly, and I don't think it's going to stick.
Yeah. I want to throw something out there real quick. I know we probably won't have enough time to talk about the whole Ring of Honor matches that have been booked, but I just want to let everybody know Ring of Honor fucked their website, and they gave away that Adam was returning, and he will be facing AJ Styles. If you go on their website, Adam Cole.
Okay.
Because if you go on their website, and it says previously matches been announced, and it shows Adam Cole versus AJ Styles. If you go, I'm not sure they took it off, but earlier, me and Matt were looking at that. We was like, wow, they really just like gave it away. So, question is, are they scrap that and just find somebody else? See if they still have it. I'm gonna go right now and see if they still have it. If they still have it, then somebody's getting fired. Oh, they put question. It said Adam Cole earlier. Somebody fucked up earlier, so I don't know. So Cole's coming back. I swear I should have took a picture of this shit. So Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could talk about more about the ROH shows because I know they'll be announcing more stuff during the week probably. We'll talk about that on our Thursday show, and I got some choice words for some of those matchups.
But let me ask you a question. But on the website, like they actually gave away. Like they spoiled it to us, which is funny to me.
Somebody's getting canned probably, and I think even before they announced it, there was rumors, from different websites on who AJ Styles was going to be facing. Before they even, put it on their website, there was, rumors of that it was going to be Adam Cole that he was going to face. So, I mean, but you can't give it away like that. Like, those were just rumors, and then you basically gave it away and confirmed it.
Yeah. All I have to say is, Adam, oh, baby. I know I'm on to some Ring of Honor talk. My question, I saw Maria Kanellis tweet the other day. She said something like Kingdom, basically all doing good. She had a photo, it had Cole, it had, Taven and Bennett, and then under it was a picture of Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Is Matt Hardy still part of a different promotion?
Hold on, what you're saying? Your phone breaking up. You said something about Matt Hardy.
I don't know if the rest of you guys heard me, but I basically said Maria Kanellis, she tweeted the other day a photo of the Kingdom, and it was a photo of Adam Cole, Matt Taven, and Michael Bennett holding their titles, and it had a photo of Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy holding their new TNA tag titles, and it said #Kingdom. Like, is Matt Hardy still like Kingdom, but in a whole different promotion?
I doubt it. I don't think Matt Hardy and TNA and Ring of Honor are going to work together. I doubt it.
No. I never said that. Definitely never said that. I'm saying, like, how friends are. You know how they're all buds. They call themselves the Kingdom, basically, of wrestling.
I guess you can say that, but I I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I'm gonna retweet it right now.
it's just, yeah. I know. I saw the picture too. I don't think that means anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We're actually kind of running out of time here. On Thursday we'll be back here on WHRadio. I will be on. I'm free, so I'm good that I'm not working, so I'll be on here. Don't know if I can host, but shit, I'll try. Before we go, let's give away some social medias or whatnot that folks can reach us at. You can always reach Wrestling Heads on Twitter at Wrestling Heads. Follow us. We'll follow you back if you ask for a follow. You can always go to our website, WrestlingHeads.com. You know, we always got updated news on pay-per-view, lineups, news on injuries, different stories like that, from the WWE to TNA, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We have blogs up there from our writers like Keanu Smartcast. He's actually taken an absence. Him and his wife, I believe, are they're expecting. Congratulations to them. Also, find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. We have a brand new T-shirt. Go support us and buy the tee. I'm on Twitter at WHSkits. You can find me on there. What else do we have? Facebook.com/WrestlingHeads. What else do we have, guys, that I'm missing?
You can follow me at Sinister632. Check out my classic match of the week. I actually picked Edge versus Undertaker. Check that on WrestlingHeads.com. I'll be at Chris's Dental Pro this weekend, or AWS, whatever. I'm going to be there this weekend. And, people, watch Lucha Underground this Wednesday. It's going to be one of the best episodes you see. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Tom.
Is this the one?
Okay. Yeah, this is the one I'm telling you about. But for you, Skits, I understand you have to work because the Clippers are playing the Spurs. I'll give you a pass.
I'm not working.
But Tom, you're not working?
But Wednesday,
okay.
Wednesday, I do have to go somewhere, family matter.
All right. Well, Tom, you better watch this episode. If you don't, then that proves to me that you're sucking somebody off. So you better watch this episode.
Here we go, another gay joke by Oscar.
You know, I'm watching Lucha Underground every week, so I won't be missing that. But you can follow me on Twitter. Got to give out my plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. That's my only social media account. Make sure you also check out the rest of the lineup here on the Elite Podcast Network. Beyond the Three Count, Eyes on the Ring, Uncle Mike and Tom Show, Indie Power Rankings, all of them. And also make sure to check out the Weekly Wrestling Podcast at WeeklyWT on Twitter. Make sure you follow. Make sure you check them out. Mr. Matthew Grant couldn't join us, so he can't plug them. But check them out. They always have indie news going 24/7.
Nate, you there?
Yep. You can follow me at Headliner5. Follow Eyes on the Ring at Eyes on the Ring. EyesOnTheRing.com. We've got some new stuff up there finally. And then Facebook.com/EyesOnTheRing. Make sure to like us and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Real quick before we go off air, if there's any writers out there that like to write about professional wrestling, or you have your own blog for a website, you can reach us at our email, WrestlingHeads@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at Wrestlingheads or tweet me at WHSkits. We're definitely looking for people that want to show their talents and put their platform on our website. And again, we'll be back today, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's it. I thought I had something else I wanted to say, but I forgot.
Just one
Thursday.
More thing, Skip. If I can mention really quick, I'll be live at Ring of Honor on Saturday. So I'll be live tweeting that.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Our boy Nate from Eyes on the Ring will be at ROH. So if you want to know what's going on, you need to follow that man right there. And we'll be talking about Global Force on Thursday, about some of the lineups that they have coming this year. We'll get to some Tough Enough talk, which we didn't get to do. Ring of Honor and more Thursday. Until then, I'm Skits. We want to thank Brian Kendrick for also joining us once again. Shout out to him. And Oscar will see him on Saturday. Again, I'm Skits, Oscar, Tom, and Nathan. Be out. Peace.
Peace.